Hi Tribe, welcome back to my channel. So a couple of weeks ago, no, not even 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, yeah. So I normally send out a newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to it, I will leave a link for you to subscribe. So I normally send out a newsletter once a week or so. And I just tell the tribe about what's happening or what I'm thinking or a tip about money, that sort of thing. Or any upcoming stuff. So one of the things that I had asked the tribe members to send was feedback on the topics that they want me to touch on. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'm not running out of topics anytime soon. So thank you so much if you did suggest a topic. So today, I can't remember who it was, unfortunately. Let me try see. I can't remember, but I remember someone else said they don't want me to mention their names, so let's see. Yeah, so it's Vulika. Yeah, she didn't mind me mentioning her name. It's Vulika. I hope I'm saying it right, Vulika, and she's all the way in Namibia. Hi. So you did suggest quite a few topics, but today I thought let me tackle the one that you suggested, step-by-step tips for the first-time home buyers. So I'm guessing that in Namibia, not that different. So I'll be talking about that. So if you are a first-time home buyer, I think we all have that desire to own our own houses, to own our own property, and I'm going to start off by being a bit controversial that your house is not necessarily an asset, although if you're doing your own balance sheet it will sit on the asset side, but you still own quite a bit on it. So it's not really an asset, it's a lifestyle asset, and a lifestyle asset is something that you feel like it enhances your life experience, who you are as a person, your family's livelihood. So I'm in my house right now, but I definitely know that it's not like an asset because every month it's taking away money from us. But I certainly understand that having your own property is very different from when you're renting, because with your own house you can do quite a lot, but it does come with expenses. So I will discuss all of that in this video. All right, so what do you need to do if you are a first-time home buyer or you want to buy a property to rent out? Because really the process is still the same. They don't look at it and say, oh no, you want to buy it so you can rent it out. They don't care. They look at you the same way as you're buying your own house. Unless of course you're a property company, but most people aren't. So today is for the individual, okay? So buying property it's a pretty big deal, right guys? It really is a big deal because you don't just wake up and be like, oh, you know what, I want to buy a property. Maybe some people can do that, but for most of us you have to think, okay, what do I need, how much money do I have, that sort of thing. So I think the very first thing is to have the intention, number one, to have the intention to buy a property. Because having an intention to buy a property, or any intention for that matter, is that now your thinking becomes different about it, and all the actions that you will take are based on the outcome that you want. So number one, do have the intention to buy a property. So now you have the intention, right? What's the next step? The next step is to look at your overall finances. Where are you standing financially, and can you really truly afford to be a homeowner today? And if you can't, but you do have the intention, then what is next? How should I go about making sure that I am financially fit, I am financially ready to buy this property? So that's the second thing. And so the first few things that will help you get ready to buy a property: number one, check your credit score. Okay, because if you're buying property and you're going to get a home loan, banks, the first thing that they will ask for and the first thing that they will look into is what is your credit score looking like. And again, your credit score is basically what, your past financial behavior. Banks will look at, how have you done with your finances in the past couple of months. So really, a credit score is a reflection of all your financial behavior with different providers. So if you have a Woolies card, it will go into there. If you have a credit card, it will go into there. And I know a lot of the times people complain about this, like, okay, no, Mapala, but these banks, I normally use cash, I save up. So how do I access credit if I don't really have an existing credit score? And for me also, that was my biggest issue, right? It really is a big issue. But banks don't just look at your use of credit. There are other ways, and I think I won't be doing it justice to go into how to improve your credit score or how to get a home loan, even if you don't have like a whole history of how you've handled credit because you've avoided credit. So what I'm gonna do, and I've been thinking about this, now I'm thinking out loud, and I'm actually saying I'm gonna do this, is that I'm going to get someone who is a property expert, someone who works at a bank or some sort, or a bond originator who can come on here and talk to me, and so I can ask them about these questions. What else can you do? Because I definitely know that there's other ways now, that banks are not just as rigid as they used to be. But also, it does take a bit of initiative from you, the person going to them, to say, no, you're not just going to look at credit because I don't have that and I have my own reasons, but I can back it up. You can see that I've been saving, that sort of thing. But that's another video for another day. So for now, make sure that your credit score is tip-top shape, because it does two things. It makes sure that you get approved, or your loan application gets declined. But secondly, when they do approve it, having a good credit score will determine whether they give you a high interest rate or not. And we know that having a high interest rate on any credit, on any form of credit, costs you more money in the long run. So making sure that your credit score is tip-top shape, that's one of the first things that you should be looking into when you want to buy a property. So also with your credit score, you can start working on it the minute you have the intention to buy your property. And again, I know I said it, I think it was the first video I did when I started my channel. The places where you can go to view your credit score, it's free, mahala, guys. Don't make your life complicated. You just need to put in your ID and some few details, and that's it. So I will also put those, I think I had put four credit bureaus where you can check your credit score for free. So definitely make sure that you check your credit score, start working on improving it if it's poor. Secondly, the other thing that you can do is to make sure that you have a deposit. Make sure that you have a deposit. And I know I did a podcast with Maya a couple of weeks ago or months ago now, where someone was about to buy a property and they said, no, if you go shopping around or if you pay deposit, then it will affect your interest rate. Lies. Absolute lies. Okay, having a deposit gives you a better chance of them lowering your interest rate, but also it helps you that you don't end up paying quite a lot on a monthly basis. But I mean, I always encourage that even when your bond gets approved, try put in $500. I mean, that's what I do. Sometimes it's 1,000. And depending on the type of work, because obviously I'm a freelancer, so the type of work allows me to put in, sometimes can be 5 or 10 depending on what I'm doing. But just always have that fixed amount that you put away on a month-to-month basis. So for me, for example, it will be like 1,000 consistently. But when I know, okay, I'm not going to need funds, or I'm not, like I have a good month, or whatever is happening, lump sum, whatever. I know that it's one of my first priorities to put more money into it. Okay, so that's I'm losing count, guys. What's happening with me? I'm losing count, but I will list all of them nicely, the steps by step. So intention, improve your credit score, or check your credit score, then start improving it. Have a deposit. And another very important thing, the fourth thing, is what is your affordability? Okay, and your affordability is not what the bank says you qualify for. Okay, and also that's a very important exercise as well. So even before before all of these things as well, or in the midst of these things, most banks do what do they call it, like a pre-qualification type of thing, like where you put in your information, how much you earn, how much your expenses are, that sort of thing. Like it's like literally just a quick calculation that you can do on their websites, and it's free. And I think especially with FNB, I tried with FNB. It even gives you a pre-qualification letter type of thing to say, okay, we think that you'd qualify for such and such an amount. So also it's very important to just give you an idea of where you are, or what banks would say. But then the majority of the work comes from, can I afford to buy a property, and at what price range am I looking at? Okay, so don't just look at the 10,000. There's 10,000 that I'll pay for a bond. I think also, because a property just don't buy. You don't wake up and go buy a property. If you are prepared, you've set out your intention, you've checked your credit score, you're improving it, you're saving towards a deposit. One of the things that can help you when you're checking affordability to make sure that you actually can afford this property is to say, number one, can I save at least that 10,000 every month? So if your bond is going to be 10,000 or 20,000 or 5,000, whatever that amount is, can I right now in my situation save 10,000? So I know some people come back and say, no, but Mapalo, I'm renting. How do I save that 5? So the way I would say, simple example, if you want to buy a property and it's going to cost you 5,000 per month, and where you currently are, let's say you're renting, for example, and you are paying 2,500, save the extra 2,500, and see, because effectively that's 5,000, right? And see if you will be able to manage well. Okay, that's one part of it. But also there are other hidden costs of being a property owner. There is cost of ownership, and this one, it will just take you aback a little bit. Okay, I knew that there is cost of ownership. We do own another property that we're renting out, and another one, and we have like a small piece of land. But the cost of ownership, it just gobsmacks you in the stomach. You're like, all these rates and taxes, all this utility stuff, all this municipal stuff. When something breaks, you have to be in charge. Like, guys, sometimes I just get so pissed off. I'm like, there was sometimes, like, literally the way we plan our finances is, okay, do we have a lump sum that we can just pay for these rates and taxes and utilities, so that at least for 6 months, so that we don't have to worry about it, because they just piss me off. To tell you that, they just piss me off. I'm like, it's so painful, and that's just even besides the bond, the monthly installments that you pay. So there are hidden costs of home ownership. But even before now, they have approved you, now you move into your amazing house and you're happy, you're a homeowner, your friends can come over for what do you call it? I don't know. Housewarming, yeah, because I haven't done it. So actually I've never thrown any housewarming. I don't know why. Maybe I will this time around when my book comes out. But so there's all of this costs, and what also people forget to budget for is moving in costs. Moving in costs will humble you as well, because normally we want to move out of our property, especially if you're young. You want to move out of a rental of your parents' house or wherever you're staying to a bigger space. So now the bigger space means curtains, it means couches, it means dining table. Maybe where you didn't have a dining table, like we moved in and our table was like this much, and we needed to get a bigger one, and all of those costs are humbling, guys. So you need to plan, and also you know, once you do have that property, don't rush yourself. Don't go on credit buying stuff that you know that you will eventually buy, you know, because you don't want to be in debt because now you own property. It just doesn't flip and make sense. Okay, so other costs, even before they approve it, there's lawyers costs, you know, there's conveyancer costs, there's bond registration costs. All of those things cost money, lots of money. And one of the resources that I absolutely love, I think it's Property 24 or Private Property. Both of them have those tools where you can start playing around with the numbers. That, okay, if I'm going to buy a property for X amount, you know, what other costs am I looking at outside of just going to a bank or putting down a deposit? So just be aware that your deposit will really just go to the bank as a deposit, but then there's other costs involved as well. So guys, I hope that was helpful. I will put down the steps nicely in the description box, and I will also list the credit bureaus where you can check your credit score again, even though I have done it before. Yeah, tribe. So that was step by step of first time property buyer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy the videos, please do remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and send them to your friends. Come on, save some lives, you know. Don't just hog the information to yourself. Send it to some friends. Even if you think that they're financially okay, you'll probably find that, you know, they do need the information as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.